He says, from the moment I accepted Islam until the Prophet passed away, every time I met him, the Prophet was already smiling at me. Imagine how this guy felt. The Prophet is such a great person, and he's a nobody. And every time he comes to meet the Prophet turns this nobody into somebody. And this guy feels confidence, he feels special, because the Prophet didn't ignore him. He didn't treat him just as another person. The Sahaba, they say that when a person came to meet the Prophet, he would always be the first person to initiate the greeting. He would always come and say As-salamu alaikum first. Many of us, when we enter into a room, two people enter into a room at once. Each person is waiting for the other person to say salam because you're better than them. You're the more knowledgeable person, you're the teacher, or you're the older person, or you have a better car. You're like, you know what, that sucker's gonna say salam to me. I'm not saying salam to him. I know I'm better than that guy. And 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, when the awkwardness reaches 10, they both turn around and walk out. Look at the arrogance. If there was anyone who should have said, you know what guys, I'm not saying salam to anyone, you all better get over here and say salam to me first, it was the Prophet ﷺ. But that wasn't his style. The Prophet didn't have to act arrogant to prove who he was. He was someone internal. He wasn't hollow like us from within, that we've covered ourselves with fake fabrics to prove who we are. The Prophet didn't have to put a front for people. He was established. He was a person that was solid, materialized from within. So when he met people, he said the salam first. And not only that, he would greet them with his hands. The hadith of Ibn Mas'ud al-Bukhari, that he says that when I shook the hand of the Prophet, my one hand was between his two hands. And the Sahaba, they say that when you shook the Prophet's hand, he would never be the first person to withdraw from the handshake. He would let you hold his hand until you were done holding his hand. When he would speak to someone, he wouldn't crank his head and look at that person from the corner of his eye like, sup. No, the Prophet ﷺ would turn his entire body to that person and give that person his undivided attention. إِذَا الْتَفَتَ الْتَفَتَ جَمِيعًا. The Prophet gave his undivided attention to people. Whether it was the women of the community came to the Prophet ﷺ with their concern. And they spoke to the Prophet directly. There's a famous narration that a lady came to the Prophet and said to the Prophet that I have to speak to you regarding an issue. The Prophet said, go ahead. She said, O Messenger of Allah, I've been married to my husband for a while, and him and I got into a quarrel. As a result of it, he said some statements to me that were derogatory, that were offensive, and if he wants to really divorce me, just say it to my face, I want to divorce you. How are you using foul language to disrespect a lady who's given her life to you? And she said to the Prophet, I gave him my youth. I gave him my womb. I gave birth to his children. And today when he has an argument with me, he can't even man up to say divorce to my face. He wants to use foul jahili words. He wants to use words like that. So is this a divorce or not? The Prophet ﷺ said to the lady that, well, there's nothing in the Quran revealed regarding such a statement. Yet, therefore, we will uphold the cultural practices. Which again teaches us, people always talk about Islam versus culture. Have you guys heard that title being used on a flyer? The whole thing is bogus. Islam is not versus culture. Like I said yesterday, this is not Ken versus Ryu. Right? There's no verses here. Islam accommodates culture. That's what makes us universal. The Prophet says, we will uphold the culture because no verse of the Quran has been revealed yet to negate it. This lady says, that means I'm divorced? The Prophet said, we're going to uphold the ruling that was practiced by the Arabs. She says, O Messenger of Allah, you need to reconsider. Imagine a lady saying that to our imams. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You need to reconsider, Mufti Sahab or Sheikh Sahab. And the Prophet ﷺ is so calm, so relaxed, like a father to everyone. He says to this lady very calmly that the matter is in the hands of Allah. I'm a messenger, I'm a Rasul. And she says, you must reconsider. The Prophet says, I can't, it's not in my hands, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. She then says, if you're not going to listen to me, then you know what? I'm going to complain to your superior, to Allah directly. And she raises her hands to the heavens and she starts crying to Allah directly in front of the Prophet, in front of everyone. She's like, oh Allah, your messenger isn't listening to me. And the companions are looking at this girl, what is going on? Put a grip on yourself. And she's crying away. Someone said to her, shh, shh. She said, not until Allah speaks on my behalf. She is demanding revelation. But not disrespectfully, sincerely. One thing is a person, someone, demands something from Allah respectfully. Ya Allah, I've been so obedient to you now, I ask something of you. And this lady is crying to Allah, making her dua. The Prophet lowers his head, sweat begins to perspire on his forehead. Someone said to her, but stop now, revelation is coming. She said, not until it's recited to me. And she kept going. And the Prophet raised his forehead, wiped his sweat, and he recited to her the ayah, قَدْ سَمِعَ اللَّهُ قَوْلَ الَّتِي تُجَادِلُكَ فِي زَوْجِهَا وَتَشْتَكِي إِلَى اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ يَسْمَعُ تَحَاوُرَكُمَا إِنَّ اللَّهَ سَمِيعٌ بَصِيرٌ الَّذِينَ يُظَاهِرُونَ مِنْكُم مِّن نِّسَائِهِمْ مَا هُنَّ أُمَّهَاتِهِمْ إِنْ أُمَّهَاتُهُمْ إِلَّا اللَّهُ. And the whole surah is revealed on this story. Where Allah acknowledges the lady that came and she was tujadiluka. You know what tujadilu means? She was arguing with the Prophet. The Quran uses the word. She was arguing with the Prophet. And then وَتَشْتَكِي إِلَى اللَّهِ, then she complained directly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The point being is that the Prophet took every person seriously. The kids in the community. Yesterday we talked about Ya Aba Umayr ma fa'ala al-Nughayr, the kid whose bird died. You guys remember that? The brother of Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu, whose bird died, and the Prophet came and sat next to him and cheered him up as well. And I told you yesterday, the most interesting thing about that story is how long did that kid live after that story? Not too long. He died after that. Abu Talha came and told the Prophet that last night my wife, she didn't even tell me that our son died, and she wrapped him in the shroud and pushed him in the corner of the home, and now she tells me after we ate together and had an intimate relationship that my son's dead. That was the same Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu, the son of Sulaym. You know, a young kid, the Prophet is giving attention to him. Every person, and not only the pious people. The Prophet ﷺ's love was for, quote unquote, the sinners of the community too. You know, there's a famous narration that Imam Khalid rahmatullahi alayhi quotes in the Sahih, that Umar radiallahu anhu narrates, there was a person by the name of Abdullah. There was a person by the name of Abdullah. He was brought to the Prophet ﷺ on multiple occasions because of his consumption of alcohol. He would drink alcohol, he would be brought to the Prophet ﷺ would establish that he consumed alcohol and send him for punishment. Right? And then again. According to the narration, how many times was he brought to the Prophet? Arba'a marrat, 4 times. Ibn Hajar rahmatullahi alayhi uses this hadith to establish naskh of another narration, which I will talk about right now. So 4 times he says that this person was brought to the Prophet ﷺ. And then at the end of it, when he was being taken out, someone said to him, this man is a himar, he's a donkey. He doesn't learn his lesson. You know, when I read this narration, I think to myself, it's as if that person was talking to me. A guy who just doesn't stop sinning, and does it again, and does it again. And they called this person himar. And when he was leaving, that Sahabi who was sentenced to the punishment, when he was leaving, he heard the person calling him a donkey, and he literally broke out into tears. Because he knew what that guy was saying about him was true. He was a donkey. The Prophet loved him so much, and then he kept disobeying Allah. And the Prophet ﷺ stopped. He said, stop here. And he said to that Sahabi, he called him himar. He said, do you not know that this man is beloved to Allah and Rasul ﷺ? Even a sinner, a person who sins, disobeys Allah, a major sin,